Welcome back. This is Crime Uncoded. Let's begin. It was early morning on April 9th, 2022. The night still in the air, lights casting long shadows. An 18-year-old law student named Debanhi Escobar stood by a highway in Nuevo León, Mexico, alone. That photograph, her in a white top, loose hair, standing beside the road, went viral. It was the last image of her alive. 13 days later, Debanhi's body was found in an underground cistern at a motel. That discovery set off outrage, protests, unanswered questions, conflicting reports. This is more than a missing person story. It's about what happens when society fails, when evidence is lost, when the to-do list of justice grows longer than the list of answers. Tonight, I want to walk you through every moment we can track. The gaps, the mysteries, the things people say, and the things that still stay in silence. Debanhi Susana Escobar Bazaldua was born September 4th, 2003. Her parents adopted her when she was very young, 1 year and 4 months old. She lived in La Enramada, Apodaca. She studied law at the Autonomous University of Nuevo León. Her friends and family described her as fun, cheerful, optimistic. She had her goals. She wanted justice. She cared about what was fair. She joined demonstrations against gender violence. But that night, in early April, something shifted. Sometimes the quietest lives leave the loudest echoes. It was April 8th, 2022. She went to a house party in Reba Castilla in General Escobedo, Nuevo León. Around 11:30 p.m., they bought vodka, some snacks. As the night deepened, she became involved in an argument with one of her friends. After that, her friends left. Her friends arranged for a ride, using a rideshare, Didi, or trusted contact. They left around 1 a.m. So here's what happened. The driver picked her up, but the relationship in car got tense. According to friends, according to the driver, she refused to give her address or phone of a guardian. The driver allegedly tried to touch her inappropriately. She got upset. At about 4:25 a.m., the driver dropped her off on a stretch of highway, kilometer 15.5, via Numancia, via a Nuevo Laredo. That's where the famous photo was taken. Debanhi, alone, standing by the highway, under dim light. That was the last confirmed image. She then walked. Surveillance shows her going to a nearby transport company, Alcoza. She asked for help. Nobody answered. Later, cameras saw her heading toward Motel Nueva Castilla. That image. Simple, eerie. Debanhi alone, arms crossed, at the side of a dim highway. White shirt, dark pants. It went viral. Not because it was shocking in violence, but because it was silent. It said, "She's visible." And then, she's gone. People shared it, debated it, protested, called it a symbol of missing women. The driver said he sent the photo to her friends. The family later used it to demand action. Her father, Mario Escobar, reported her missing soon after. Local authorities began search operations. Volunteers, dogs, drones. Neighbors joined. Social media amplified. They searched the motel, the roadsides, Alcosa Transport Company. They searched businesses nearby, but motel workers, despite being there, didn't notice anything until the smell of decomposing body came later. Authorities acknowledged errors, missing cameras, searches that didn't include cisterns. April 22nd, 13 days after disappearance. Her body was found in a water tank, cistern, at Motel Nueva Castilla, below ground, decomposed. Identification by crucifix and clothing before full tests. The premises had been searched multiple times, at least 4 times earlier, but cisterns hadn't been inspected properly or had been overlooked. Authorities stated initial cause, head injury, possibly from a fall, then drowning. But the family commissioned second and third autopsies. They reported signs of sexual violence, physical abuse, and deep cranial contusion. Discovery doesn't always bring clarity. Sometimes it deepens the shadows. There are at least 2 autopsies, the official one by authorities and independent ones requested by her family. They differ. Authorities first allowed theories: accidental fall, intoxication, misstep into cistern. Her family rejects those. They demand recognition of rape, homicide, and abuse. Some experts point to negligence, poor lighting, lack of surveillance, ignored evidence, cameras that stopped recording, security at Alcosa and motel with gaps. If truth is scattered across opinions, which version do we believe? Let's list some missteps. The driver said she refused to giving the address, but some say she was scared. Who's telling the truth? Alcosa Transport Company's surveillance footage allegedly disappeared or was incomplete. Motel was searched multiple times, yet the cistern wasn't properly checked until foul smell. Authorities initially registered the case as disappearance, then later changed to femicide. The delay matters. Evidence handling, lack of transparency, delay in reporting, conflicting statements. This case didn't occur in a vacuum. In Nuevo León and in Mexico, disappearances of women are frequent. Reports say thousands of women missing, many under 30, many under 20. Femicides, killings because of gender, are a big crisis. Protesters say many disappearances go ignored. Authorities often dismiss or delay investigations. Some say the system has normalized missing women. The media covers some cases, ignores others. Families often forced to lead search efforts. Social outrage becomes the strongest tool for pressure. When a system fails many, one case becomes everything. After the photo went viral, protests began. Hundreds across Monterrey and beyond marched. Signs: justice for Debanhi. People angry, parents holding pictures, white balloons, clocks ticking on distrust. Media outlets inside Mexico and abroad covered the story. Independent reporters, activists, civil society asked, was it an accident or worse? The public demanded action. The president of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, said officials must clarify everything, promised no impunity. We have many questions. Did the driver commit wrongdoing beyond what he says? What happened between the moment she left the vehicle and when she arrived at the motel? Why were there gaps in the surveillance? What parts of the route lacked cameras or lighting? Did substances, alcohol, drugs, affect decisions or memory? Was she disoriented? Was the motel staff aware? Why didn't previous searches find the cistern? Some say authorities are covering up, others say incompetence, maybe both. But no one has been convicted, no final version accepted by all. Truth often lies in what we haven't found yet. Imagine being her parents, waking in hope, waiting in dread, calling out to strangers for help. Watching media post photos, seeing your daughter made public in that image. And the public, people who see themselves in her, especially young women. The fear, the anger, the sense that one moment can't always be trusted. Fear of walking alone. Fear of trusting a ride. Fear of being seen and then forgotten. This case shook many because it could be any of us. Her family's fight hasn't ended. They pushed for independent autopsies. They demanded transparency. They wanted access to surveillance video, evidence, full reports. There have been charges against 2 former motel employees for obstruction, but no conviction for homicide, as of last reports. Human rights groups and feminists press for reforms, better police response, full forensic investigations, more protection for girls and young women. We may never reconstruct every moment of her last hours, but we can hold the gaps in memory, in evidence, and in silence against forgetting. Thank you for being here, for listening. If this story moved you, share it, talk about it, search for the truth with us. You've been listening to Crime Uncoded. Subscribe for the next case.